Rangers may have been bought for £1 12 years ago, but 11 days into January 2024, they need to put together £59,999 more pounds in order to get Michy Batshuayi for just 1 week.
And that's not going to happen, so it looks like they're going to be playing Cyril Dessers for the remainder of the season. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football for another daily transfer roundup. Still nothing major happening, so instead of talking about official deals, we're going to talk about deals that have just fell through and are not going to happen. And that one, the main one, is Michy Batshuayi. He is not going to Rangers. Rangers wanted him, but 60k was just a step too far for the Teddy Bears.
It was, apparently. Now, we knew the Scottish Sun and Daily Record.
60,000 steps too far, to be exact.
It was, but, I mean, we can look at this a bunch of ways. I mean, 10 weeks, right, is 600,000, so therefore 20 weeks is, 1.2 million. Are we led to believe that Rangers couldn't afford this guy? Is that what's on the table right now?
Yeah, 60,000 a week does seem like a lot of money, but like you said, when you factor in...
It's not Ramsey.
When you factor in that they're getting this guy for the second half of the season, he could contribute to not only potentially winning the league, but also to Rangers going far in Europe. Plus, if it's a loan deal and they're not paying anything up front, then they're saving money in that aspect. So therefore, yeah, 1.2 million just on the wages side of things, that doesn't seem like a bad deal at all. Especially when you consider Rangers have already spunked a lot of money on Dessers and Lammers. So to get this guy to the end of the season for 1.2 million, that seems like a no-brainer. I know it's 60,000 seems a lot of money, but 1.2 to the end of the season doesn't seem like a lot of money, especially if he is the difference maker between Rangers finishing first and Rangers finishing second, with of course £60 million supposedly up for grabs for automatic qualification into next year's Champions League. So yeah, I mean, 60k is a lot of money for Rangers. Maybe it's a bit more than they're comfortable spending in wages, but I think it would have been a good move. I think it would have been a good deal, and it could be something that comes back to bite Rangers in the ass come the end of the year. But then who knows, maybe Dessers will turn into some sort of superstar.
He's not going to turn into a superstar, right? As much as you want that to happen. And let's be real, I think if you sign Batshuayi for 1.2 million for 6 months, it rules out Shankland. But here, if Rangers sign Shankland in this window, they're going to be looking at like 4 million, I think. If you sign him in the summer, you're going to automatically get him for cheaper because he's only got about a year left on his contract, Heartsman. Ain't that right?
Potentially, but if he goes to the Euros and bangs in a few goals and he contributes to Hearts finishing third and keeps scoring, then you can maybe argue his value will go up.
Potentially, but with a year left,
plus,
Hearts
could be looking at a bumper deal. I mean, if he doesn't leave in January, who's to say Hearts won't give him a really good deal so that by the time summer comes, he's not only got 1 year left on his contract?
True, alright, I get that.
Surely, if Shankland is still a Hearts player by February 1st, surely Hearts are offering him probably the biggest contract in the club's history. I would have to assume that.
They would have to be. It would be the only logical thing. But talking of the Euros, Batshuayi, he wants in that Euros team. And it's not like he's coming to Rangers to piss about. If he wants to get into the Belgian Euro squad, he will need to bang in goals. And if this league's as tin pot as some of these people make out to be, why couldn't a guy that's a Belgium international, scored in every league he's played in, come to Scotland and lay the smack down?
He could have, but it doesn't look like he's going to get the opportunity.
I'm refusing to believe if Rangers could afford Ramsey, they can't afford this guy, right? Ramsey was on 400 grand a week.
Yeah, but how much of Rangers were paying that?
I know, no, Rangers did pay like 2 million, right? Or maybe a bit more than 2 million, which accounts to a couple of weeks. And to be honest, what Ramsey actually gave them, it probably only worked out like a couple of games, so therefore a couple of weeks.
What I would say is, so I think Ramsey was showing signs of being done and being a shell of his former self. I'm not sure the same applies for Batshuayi.
No. Oh, but he's went to Turkey. Well, see these people pretending Turkey's a done league. They're delusional.
Now, is he in his prime? That's debatable. But I wouldn't say he's not past it by any means.
He's only 30.
Yeah, I know, but he's probably not his absolute peak, is he?
No, he's probably not. But I mean, he's in the same age bracket as like Shankland. See if the guy was at his absolute peak, he'd probably still be playing for the likes of Dortmund, for the likes of Chelsea, but he's not. He's playing for Fenerbahce, who are a good team. these people making out that Fenerbahce and Galatasaray, who are a small club, by the way, that is a running joke, but are pish teams, they're not. And let's talk about Galatasaray, because they're interested in a loan move for Redfan Yilmaz. And again, if Rangers let this guy go out on loan instead of just selling him, to me that's ludicrous. Why would you let Yilmaz go out on loan instead of selling him?
I don't know.
What is the logic behind that, though? Surely if you're selling Yilmaz, it's only to sell, not to loan, because you'd be using his money to fund players. It's crazy to think what's going on at Rangers. You get Toka Barisic going, Yilmaz going, Tav. I see someone commented in my channel, if someone came in for Saudi with a £2 million bid for Tavernier, they'd accept it. They'd drive him to the airport.
Why? I mean, $2 million?
I'll admit, right, I've flip-flopped on Tav. I've said, oh, you know what, he's a part of that loser mentality, but you cannot change the fact the guy scores crucial goals. We talk about Kyogo, right, scoring crucial goals for Celtic. Tav does it from right back. He does. How many goals and assists has Tav got for Rangers? Monumental amounts. The difference is he doesn't play up front, and therefore he's not going to get those chances every game. Tav does step up in the big games, man. You can't bash him an awful lot. See, as bad as he is defensively, Tav has stepped up, and I said it would take a pretty big offer for Rangers to accept for Tav. What would you think? Over 10 million?
I'd say so.
For a 32-year-old, would the club captain go? Could you blame him for going?
No, he's been hounded out by the fans, so...
It has been, but let's go to the other side of Glasgow, where Celtic...
Well, who's interested in Tav, by the way, out of curiosity?
Saudi Arabia. All these Saudi Arabian clubs. Retirement... No, if you want to say the Saudi Arabian leagues...
I must have missed that part. Saudi Arabian leagues, a dog league?
A dog lead. Well, let's talk about a dog lead. Let's put the dog lead on Celtic and walk them round the block.
This vid kind of reminds me of something that would come out of dog's arse.
Shite.
A big Stephen Pell. Well, what else comes out of dog's arse?
I don't know.
You said shite as if you were unsure if that was the correct answer. Fuck.
Well, I used my 50-50 and I was left with shite, so it was half a risk, wasn't
Let's
it?
just move on.
Right, anyway, Estrel fullback Tiago Arijo. 4 million it looks like for this guy. Would Celtic be pissing money in the wind spending it on him?
I'm just not convinced. Celtic's fullbacks, especially left backs, don't have a good track record.
No, they don't.
I mean, they spent approximately 4 million on Bernabé, and that guy's done absolutely nothing.
See that logic that Dermot Desmond wants Rangers to win the league? You can almost buy that to a degree. What are they doing in this window?
Why?
I don't know why he would want them to win the league.
No, you brought it up, so give me...
No, some guy said that on Super Scoreboard, sure. He called in and says it's almost like Dermot Desmond wants Rangers to win the league to keep things interesting in Scotland.
Right, so it's almost... He doesn't want them to win it?
Yeah, but why aren't Celtic spending their quote-unquote war chest? Does Celtic just feel like they can keep the exact same squad without spending 10 million in January and get that 60 million in
Is that not obvious, though?
No, they could, but...
If Celtic don't think they need to spend money to beat Rangers, then why would they spend it?
But Brendan Rodgers was promised. You know, there's a big... You made some promises you couldn't deliver, brother.
Well, we all break promises, don't we? So, I mean, at the end of the day, Brendan Rodgers has got to decide what he wants to do next.
Right, so do we want to move on for the Old Firm?
Aye.
So what else do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Shea Adams potentially going to Wolves?
No, well, I mean, we can talk about it, but it doesn't really interest me.
Is Shea Adams a man the Old Firm could sign, as I said, would distance ourselves for the Old Firm?
I mean, he is, but I wouldn't be overly excited about Shea Adams coming to the Scottish League.
No, I wouldn't, honestly. He's not a goal scorer.
I mean, he's better than Dessers, but I mean, that can't be the measuring stick. He's better than Dessers.
I mean, we're better than Dessers.
Well, there you go. I mean, Shea Adams is... I just wouldn't be excited about Shea Adams.
No, I mean, obviously it'd be on a free, so it's not like Rangers or Celtic would be splashing 10 million at him, which they wouldn't be doing anyway, but I think a free is an alright signing, but like you said, it's nothing that's going to make you go, oh. I think Batshuayi and Shankland, the one of the Old Firm, is a pretty big deal. But with Shea Adams, it's like, I don't know, the amount of times you watch
People can say that Shea Adams has played at a higher standard than Shankland, right? And that's not even debatable, right? He has and that, but goal scoring records for strikers matter. I don't think it matters what level you're playing at. Most strikers that are good strikers can carry over their goal scoring abilities when they move to higher leagues.
Yeah.
But Shea Adams just doesn't score that many goals. I'm not convinced that Shea Adams would move to Celtic and Rangers, then all of a sudden turn into a goal scoring machine. I'm just not convinced that happens.
No, I totally agree with that. And with Shea Adams, where is he going to go? Will he go to Wolves potentially? Is he too good for the Championship? I'd say so, but I mean, I'd say Shankland's too good for the English Championship as well. I mean, you look at like an Arsenal for example. I mean, you can't tell me that Shankland's not a better finisher than like Jesus and Nketiah. He is now obviously well rounded. He's not, but he is a better finisher than those two.
That's what matters.
And that does what matter. Putting it into the back of the net is Josh Doidge. Looks like he could be on his way to Torino or Marseille. Rangers. That was smoke and mirrors, Rangers signing him. I never believed that.
Rangers, the only chance Rangers had of getting him was directly signing him for Hibs. See, once a player leaves Scotland to go, the likelihood of them coming back, I just don't think's happening. Unless it's a free, unless they fail, right? And for example, I mean, Scott McKenna, I could maybe see him ending up at the Old Firm because I wouldn't say he's failed, but he's not exactly hit the heights, all right? He's kind of just he's done okay, but maybe he's not that sort of level, therefore he's moving back. Josh Doidge just left Hibs, and he's just got better and better and better, therefore he's just not going back to Rangers, as simple as that. It's like Lewis Ferguson, doing great at Bologna. Do you think the next club he was going to go to is going to be one of the Old Firm?
No.
Of course not.
It would take something miraculous for it to happen.
It's not going to happen. The only way Lewis Ferguson would have ended up at Celtic or Rangers would have been if he went to Bologna and he was bang average. He was 2 years into his contract and then Celtic and Rangers wanted to take a chance on him. See, once a player leaves Scotland and goes abroad and performs well, they ain't coming back.
Until
like Billy
done.
Gilmore won't be back. John McGinn won't be back. I mean, could McGinn potentially be back one day? Like when he's old? Same with Andy Robertson. See, when Andy Robertson's 36, 37 and Liverpool don't want him, could he end up at Celtic for a few? Maybe. But that's the only time they're coming back.
No, you're right. That's it. Andy Robertson did say he would play for Celtic one day. I mean, you look at it's like but it's like with Batshuayi and Ramsey and all these like
Aaron Hickey, right? See if Celtic or Rangers wanted him, they had to sign him directly for Hearts. See, once these players go abroad and they start performing well, Celtic and Rangers ain't going to get them.
Yeah, it's like Jermaine Defoe. You're not going to sign
John
him.
McGinn. Celtic could have signed John McGinn for Hibs, but once he went to Aston Villa and started performing, they literally just cannot fund those transfers. So.
The reality is, Premier League top 5 league players in their prime are not moving to the Scottish Premiership.
Reality is, I think the Old Firm need to take more chances. See, when you see a good player coming through the ranks in Scotland, I don't know why Celtic and Rangers aren't willing to spend more money and aren't willing to take chances on these players, because likelihood is they sign them, they perform well, they get a couple of good years at them, and then when they do sell them, they can profit in big bucks. I just see there's so many good players that have left Scotland without taking the next step up in the Scottish League.
Yep, and finally, Japan manager Hajime Murahashi admitted it was really painful to admit Celtic hero Kyogo Furuhashi for this month's Asian Cup. Thoughts on Furuhashi not getting... I know it is a few...
Well, he keeps doing it. I mean, it's like this isn't the first time he's not picked Kyogo. Pretty sure for the last squad he didn't pick Kyogo.
I refuse to believe there's like 3 better strikers than Kyogo.
Well, I mean, anytime I've seen Japan, they play Maeda. No, I mean, you can argue at least Maeda's got the engine, and maybe that's a factor. But yeah, I would be surprised if there's 3 better strikers for Japan.
Yeah.
Than Kyogo.
I wanted Kyogo to go, of course. But that's where we're going to wrap up, guys, this transfer roundup. I mean, it is dead. This winter break is killing us. Rangers do play in a friendly on their YouTube channel on Saturday against Hertha Berlin.
How much are they charging for that?
It's actually for free.
Fuck me.
I don't know what they're doing.
They're feeling alright?
Brand new year. Brand new Rangers. Have you heard that before? Brand new Rangers? I've made too many deed club jokes. Backlist for a Rangers fan this video. Pacific Shelf, here we come. Anyway, guys, till next time. Peace.